to identify where it's coming from. I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I probably only sell one. Maybe two.
Hello, today I'm doing a Valentine's Day tutorial. I do one every year and I really like doing them because I don't know, for some reason I just love Valentine's Day, the idea of it. Not like I ever get a Valentine, but this year I usually do like a soft look, but this year I decided to do something that's like not too intense, but it's kind of like hello, you know? I always say, I did go Priceline and I wanted to try out some new things. It's not much, but Models Prefer has these like limited edition like holiday things left over. So I bought this today. It was $5. It's 2 lip and cheek tints and they look kind of like the same color. So I'm going to test them out. And also this day and night chapstick thing. This was only $1. How cool is that? It was on the stand. It said $7, and I was like, look, it looks interesting, so I'll get it. Lady at the front, she scanned it, and she's like, oh, $1. I was like, did I hear you right? Is that because this one's a treatment? This is aloe vera and vitamin E and SPF 15. So I put the day treatment on. So it's good for summer. Which, if you're in Australia, then you know that February is in the summer here. I'm going to start by prepping my skin, and I want to look really hydrated. So I'm using the Pond's Hydro Revital Aqua Collagen Essence Toner. It really just gives the skin a nice layer of hydration, as well as cleansing it before you put on the moisturizer. And for moisturizer, I'm just going to be using MAC Strobe Cream. The steps we go through just to have a natural looking look. Alright, I've let that settle in a bit and I'm just going to prime with the Smashbox Primer Water. Now for foundation, I'm going to go in with an oldie but a goodie, L'Oreal True Match, and I'm going to mix it in with some of this nude oil. So this is like Wayne Goss's technique. I've been using it for a while. Every time I want like a nice natural kind of glowing from within look. Maybe 1 or 2 drops. 3. Oh, the oil's like spilling off of my hand. Alright, so I'm just going to mix it up and apply that with a brush. And also it makes it spread out a lot easier too, if you can see that. I'm using this Chi sponge. I just put some foundation on it there, just to blend out everything. I find this one works really, really well. Because my Real Techniques one was just dying. So I didn't want to have to spend so much for just one sponge. But they were doing $15 for 4 of these sponges from Chi at Target. So I was like, yes, please. Now I have some blemishes, so I'm going to go in with the Naked Skin Concealer from Urban Decay. And I'm just going to pop it in the back of my hand, so I don't have to put on any active blemishes. Not that I don't think I have any active blemishes, but better to be safe than sorry. I'm going to leave that on for a bit so the concealer can sink in, but I will just correct it under my eyes using my Benefit Erase Paste. And then I'll just go in with the sponge just to even out the skin tone. Now you can extreme highlight if you want to, but because it's Valentine's Day, I was thinking maybe if it's a first date or if it's just the hanging out kind of thing, to not go as extreme. So I'm just going to do just regular concealing just under my eyes. And then I guess just a bit on my nose and just my forehead, just because there's some blemishes there I want to cover. Now I'm going to contour. Doesn't matter if it's, you know, a daytime look or a nighttime look, we're going to contour. So I'm going to start with this bronzer by Chanel. And I'm using this Eco Tools kind of like, it's called a BB brush, I think. skin perfecting brush, but I like to use it because it's I think it's synthetic. If it's not, then whatever, but I like to use it for this. So I just find a little hollow underneath my cheekbone here, and I just start circling around. Start by kind of contouring, but you can bronze more because it's a warmer toned colour. I'm feeling a bit risky today, so if you want, just take a little bit of highlight, like a lighter concealer, and just put it on the inner corner. And even if you want, kind of carve out this little place here, just to protrude your contour. I don't even recall the last time I had a good brow day. But they're sisters, not twins, you know that shit. So I'm just going to get my Face of Australia loose powder, and I'm just going to set my under eyes and my eyelids. I'm not going to bake or anything because I don't want my under eyes to look like crusty. Not that I do when I bake, but it just, it's not what I'm doing today. Also, I might actually just do this. I'm going to start with a transition shade, and I'm going to take Noble from the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca palette. And someone scratched my yellow, and it just, you know, it's just disappointing when that stuff happens to your expensive stuff. So, not like I was going to use all that yellow, but still, it's just messy, you know. Ooh, gross. Right, so I'm taking Noble, and as my transition shade, I'm just going to use it in my crease. You know, this is usually people use it for like concealer and stuff, but it's actually, it's called a crease brush, but it's because it's so densely packed. You wouldn't really use it for that stuff, but it actually works really well for that. I'm going to take one of my favourite colour tattoos. This is from Maybelline, and it's called Toughest Taupe. You can take like any matte taupe, you don't even need this step actually, but I'm a bit extra, as most people know, so now my idea is to place something light on the eyelids and then go into the crease with the darker, kind of a bit of a darker color, and then even a bit more of a darker color, just to add, it's like the same color but it's just dimensionalized, if that makes sense. So the color I'm going to use is from the BH Party Girl palette, and it's this dusty, ooh, it's this dusty pinky color here. And if that doesn't work out, then I've got a whole lot of other eyeshadows to try out. So this is just like a dusty rose color. Is it showing up on camera? Because it's hardly showing up in real life. This is the e.l.f. blush in Mellow Mauve. And I used to love this, just to put it on the entire lid without like anything else. It was amazing. So I'll just put that on top. There you go. There we are. Getting somewhere. Now this is the Elegance palette from Chi Chi. Now, of course, I just dropped a whole lot of pigment on the... I was going to say, of course, mine is broken. But if you can see that, it's got some nice kind of taupey colours. So I'm just going to use this kind of taupe colour. You know, a good colour for that would, like a good dupe for that would be what's that one from the Naked 2 palette? And just a bit deeper, I'm taking my Natural Mattes palette from Too Faced, and I'm taking Strapless, which I kind of replaced this colour with Strapless because it was just a bit more pigmented, because it's an actual eyeshadow. And I'm also just taking that in the crease. Now this is just, it's another one of my favourite eyeshadow colours. And if you want, kind of bring it down to the lid as well, because it's a bit more pinky. I'm liking it. I'm just going to blend it out a bit by using the peach colour that's in this palette, this colour here. It's called Classic. No, it's called Lace Teddy. I'm just going to blend it out. I mean, honestly, you could just use this palette if just on its own. I'm going to take a bit of Rewind here, and I'm just going to put that in the, like, like as far into the crease as I can on its own. I know it's not a matte colour, but you could use like Bitten from Makeup Geek, or even the one from the Chocolate Bar palette, the burgundy. I'm just doing this because it was there in front of me. Or you could even use a brown, but I wanted it to be, remember, I wanted it to be more pinky. Pretty much done. I think I'm going to go in with a bit of brown as well, just to make it a bit more smoky. And if it's a bit wingy, I'm just going to clean it up with this brush, just because I don't want it to be a winged look. I want it to be a rounded look. So as you can see here, it's kind of flying out, trying to wing itself out. So I'm just going to clean it up. Just do it under the eyes. I'm just taking Strapless from Too Faced again, taking it under, and then smoking it out with Rewind from Kat Von D. I'm taking this kind of short edge brush, so this angled brush, and I'm just going to line my eyes with brown. Again, using Sexpresso because we've used that. And then just right at the lash line, and then feel free to smoke it out a bit. Just going to go back in with the blush, the Mellow Mauve blush from e.l.f., and just putting that on the eyelid once more, just as a highlight. That only took like a long time. However, feel free to use lashes or not too. That's really up to the person. I'm going to, just for the sake of the video, I'm going to use the Glam Manicare Miranda lashes. They're just a used pair. This is the 2-pack, so if you want to know what they look like without being used, when they haven't been used, that's what they look like. I apply mascara after I do my lashes, only because it just makes it so much easier to apply the lashes when there's no mascara on. There's no mascara on the real lashes. In the meanwhile, I'm just going to open this and swatch the colours. So I'm going to, because they're lip and cheek tints, I'm actually going to use them in lips and cheeks. This one is called Rose, and this one is called Coral. So that's probably what the difference is between them. They just look extremely similar in the packaging. So came out like that. That's probably not going to shake it or something. So that one's obviously Rose and that one's Coral. So I think I'm going to use Rose today. And even if they don't turn out, I'm just going to try it. And we'll see. I'm going to use Rose as my blush as well. So I'm actually going to put it on my hand. That's what I usually do with like liquid blushes. BB brush from Models Prefer. Kind of stipple it and then try it on my cheek. It's pretty pigmented. I'm going to blend it out with my beauty sponge. It's a nice blush. It's actually pretty dewy and I don't hate it yet, so. These lashes actually remind me of the Ardell 120s, but like a bit more natural. I mean, you can't really get more natural than that. Actually, I don't know. They're nice. And these tweezers are good too. I don't know where they're from. But I'm using the liquid highlighter in gold from Australis. And I am just applying that on the tops of my cheekbones. Because, you know, do the do. Okay, now I'm going to set like everything that I've done. I'm just going to use the Guerlain one. It's called Terracotta. It's the Flawless Bronzing Powder in 03 Dark. To contour, I'm using my Australis Contour Kit. Just using the middle shade a bit and a bit with this one. I'm just chiseling out my jaw. And I'm just chiseling out my cheekbone. And just here, and just here, and just here, and just everywhere. Blush, I'm going to go into my Red Earth blush in Desert Dusk. Oh, could have used this actually. I'm just going to use the same one I used for the cream. It's a bit heavy, so I'm just going to blend it out with this. I'm going to use my ambient lighting palette. Now, as you can see, we're going really overboard with all the different products, but mainly because we just want to look good on Valentine's Day. Using this on everything that's kind of like not been set already. I'm just going to take this powder again by Base of Australia, and just kind of just set everything in place. Like, we kind of like set everything, but we're not going to set the things that we set. Really lightly. Kind of avoid the highlight area because we want to keep that kind of dewy, but I'm just going to lightly and kind of just fix up this area, make sure it's not too dark, make sure we have no kind of like line, just blend everything together. Going in different orders now. I'm just going to apply some mascara. And if you need to hide the band, just put some. And now lips. Should I line them first? Should I? I'm going to use Maybelline Superstay Lip Liner. That's not right. In Rosewood. Like that. Using Rose again. Again, the reason I like using tints is if just in case you're kissing your significant other and you don't want to transfer anything and you don't want your lips to be like super dry, like if you were using a liquid lipstick. It's kind of like a stain. But if you did want to use a liquid lipstick, I love Patina by Stila. It's amazing. It's actually really smooth. For $5 for two, it's not actually a bad deal. Oh wait, did I put some more highlight on? I feel like I should put some like more highlight. I'm just gonna use Indiscretion by Laura Mercier. Just dewy. I was thinking, what if I tried it with Patina over the top just to show you guys if you wanted a liquid lipstick. I'm just going to blot it. Blots nicely, but it's still like really faded. So Patina, it's one of my favorite liquid lipsticks ever. I actually like this so much. I wish I had a date so that I wish I had a Valentine. I'm gonna look for a Valentine this year. Watch me. Watch me.